what is up with these trolls on our correctional officer sites? You know, the people who are not correctional officers, and they're trolling the correctional officer sites saying bad things about corrections and correctional officers. And a lot of those trolls are formerly incarcerated persons. Some are not. I'm being politically correct, right? Formerly incarcerated persons. We don't want to get anybody upset, even though many of them, not all of them, many of them come onto our sites and they slip by our administrators of these sites. Now, first, let me say this. You're not going to find a site that doesn't have some slip through. Being an administrator of these sites is not an easy job, and they'll put up fake profiles. They'll even answer the questions. And then what do? You look at the profile. They look like an officer, and you let them in. But here's what gets me now. Once you find out they're not an officer, and they're a troll, these pesky little fellers here that really tick you off, and that's what they want to do. And that happened to me on one of the sites yesterday. One of them ticked me off, and I got in a tit for tat. But at least I was able to lure that person out and get them to say they're not an officer. And I reported that to the admins, and this sucker's still on the site, you know. So it depends on how your admins are. Now, we're depending on all you officers out there that are on these sites. If you see a suspicious person on these correction sites, report it. And then it's the admin's job to check that out and say, hey, you're right, this is a troll. Click, block, and forever no more, right? Well, this person that I had the tit for tat with, there was a real good post about a super bust. A lot of contraband found. And, you know, everybody's congratulating. Great job, great job, great job. And then I looked at this one, and this guy says, yeah, all they're going to do is these officers are going to sell the contraband drugs and cell phones right back to the inmates. Somebody else responded, hey, you inmate-looking person, get off this site. And I said, out of anger, not politically correct, admins, get this inmate off this site. Well, I was angry, may not be an inmate. Well, it turns out he finally sees my post and he goes, you know, you being a law enforcement or correctional, whatever you're saying, this is very unprofessional what you just said, and you could get in trouble for it, and this and that. Somebody else said, just what does an inmate look like? And okay, so they got me on that one. And I said, listen, I am not worried about what I just said. I said, and then later on, he said, you know, I'm a businessman, and if you want to come work for more than $16 an hour, so now there's another shot at corrections. Making fun of some of the pay that some of our officers make across the country, even though some make $16 and some make $35 an hour, depending on what state you live in. So I said, well, I knew you were not an officer, so I was able to at least lure that out of you. And so we know he's not an officer, claiming not to be a former inmate, but he's not an officer and saying bad things, still continuing to say bad things. I put a complaint in, but he's still on there. So that's what gets me. I'm an admin on a channel, on one of the channels. And if you report to me or any of my colleagues, this looks like a troll, this is an inmate, former inmate that's on this. Why is he, you know, you could say, just be nice. Well, it happens. We work hard to try to keep them off, but we can't keep them all off. But when you find them, report it so we can get them off. But don't say what the hell's wrong with you, admins. I said, admins, get the inmate off this channel. What I should have said is, I'm turning myself in now. Administrators, could you please check this person? This is not an officer. And take him off. But he's still there. Anyway, they know now. I've reported it. They know. If you report to our channel that I'm on, we will get them off. But when you have thousands of subscribers, for example, like ours, 55,000 now, I think, 55,000, there's going to be some slip through, so we need all your help. But am I wrong getting mad at trolls being on these sites? If I'm wrong, please let me know. These people get on our sites and say bad things about us. They should not be on there. They should be taken off immediately and blocked. Now, have I seen a couple of topics on some formerly incarcerated persons' channels? Yes. And it was kind of interesting topic, so I listened. I put comments on there. Well, I can't say you're totally wrong on this one, I would say. Or that's a good video. If it's true, you know, if it's true and it's not bashing everyone. Yes, we have some corruption in corrections, but people like this troll I just talked about, all the officers, like all officers are that way, you know. We don't need that kind of junk. We have enough problem with the few bad apples, and we take care of those few bad apples, right? When they argue that we don't take care of them, then why are they always why is their mugshot always at the jail? Because we arrest them when they do something wrong, okay? Get off our channel, trolls. We arrest our bad folks, and there's very few of them, okay? But we take care of that problem. We don't need you coming on here bad-mouthing us. I had to get it out today. Thought it was a good topic to talk about. Let me know what you think about these trolls that are getting on our channels. Any ideas on how to better enforce and screen and stop them from getting on? It's not 100% foolproof like a lot of you folks think. You know, we catch a ton of them before they get on. Some are going to slip by us like in any other profession, right? So I had to let a little anger out today about these pesky fellows, these trolls. Sick of them. Sick of them. Coming on our channel, smarting off to us, telling us how we're going to run things. I'll stop now. Thanks a lot. Gary York, True Prison Stories. Please subscribe.